I was praying to God to let me die from smoke inhalation, and please don't let me be burned alive.
It was a remarkable story of a death-defying rescue from the Palisades Fire in Malibu. Patty Phillips' car was stranded on a rock on a cliffside with the flames closing in. Patty got separated from her husband, and while trying to escape, she drove up the side of a cliff and then got stuck. All but one firefighter told Patty's husband it was just too dangerous to search for her. Well, that one man was LA County Fire Captain Malcolm Dix, who came to her rescue. And Michelle Geely was able to reunite the pair on FaceTime last night.
Hi, Patty.
Oh, Malcolm, I love you so much.
Are you doing okay? You and your husband okay?
I'm alive today because of your heroism, and my husband and I are so blessed that you were there.
Joining us now to talk more about her incredible rescue and the man who saved her life. And, you know, give us an idea for people who didn't get to see the whole story. You and your husband were both evacuating, but you made a wrong turn?
So we live in a neighborhood in Malibu called Big Rock. And there are a few things that went wrong. We were aware of the fire, obviously, in the Palisades and been notified around 2 in the afternoon, but it was so far away. So we had watch duty app, we have a generator at our house, we have fire hoses, and we were prepared. And we had neighbors, Mike and Rick Heron, and their 90-year-old mother at our house. And we had plans to leave when it hit Topanga, but we were never notified. We had no idea the fire was in Big Rock.
Wow.
And then when Mike, Rick, and James went down to see what was going on, because the way we faced towards the ocean, we saw nothing.
Oh, wow.
And they went down and said, came back up. I've never seen people so frightened besides me. They said the fire's at the bottom of our hill at Big Rock. He goes, we're gonna have to drive through it.
Wow.
So I had my car packed, and my husband was getting his car, and I said, I'll meet you in the estate area, which is we thought was the safe area. So when I got down there, it was on fire.
Oh, wow.
The neighborhood, it's just, you're not prepared to see that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't wait here. So we have one way in and one way out.
Wow.
So I turned right onto Big Rock, and then the flames came at me, full force. And I was blinded. And it's just dark, and there's smoke, and it's vertigo. You can't see if you're up or down. You can't see anything. And I kept thinking about the Paradise Fire and how people's tires blew and they melted. And so I just stepped on the gas thinking I'm going to drive through this. And the road curves, and I ended up straight on that dirt driveway.
With that rock propping up your car.
Yeah, so I had no idea where it was. And then I'm like, then I realized I'm not on our street, and I tried to back up. I didn't know I was on the boulder. My car just stopped. And I'm calling 911. Please rescue me. Please don't let me burn alive. I'm gonna be burned alive if you don't help me. And he transfers me to a sheriff's department. The sheriff's department says, we can't help you. You gotta call 911. And there's not like there's service. I mean, I'm barely getting through.
Signal,
And I'm like, and so I'm opening my door, and the wind, I had 3 blessings. I mean, God protected me.
Yes.
The wind was blowing across my car, so the hillside that I was stuck on, the embers, the fire had already blown through there. So the red embers were crossing my car, and right below me, the flames were full. And I'm like looking down at this fire below me, and I try to open the door, and the red embers are coming into the car. Coda starts jumping all over me. I'm trying to call 911, and I'm thinking, your instinct's to run. But I'm like, if I run, he'll never make it. I'm like, I'm gonna die with my dog. And I just pray to God, please let me die from smoke inhalation. Please don't let me be burned alive, please.
That when I heard that in that story, it really, really broke my heart that that's what you were praying for, that you would die from smoke inhalation and not being burned alive.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what nightmares are, right?
Yeah.
Made of. And then I'm like, I'm a fighter. And I'm like, I can't give up. And then I'm like, I should just give up. Nobody's coming, nobody's helping me. And I text my husband, and it wasn't Wi-Fi, so only part of the text went through. You know, just tell him I love him because I knew he was looking for me. And I felt so guilty. I felt like I blew it. Like I put him at risk. And I was feeling so bad about that. And he never gave up. He quoted the movie Last of the Mohicans, I will find you. And he drove back up into that neighborhood when he realized I wasn't at the bottom. And he couldn't find me. He drove back down. And Mike and Rick Heron heard my horn honking because they were far behind me, getting their mother out. And I thought, I know nobody can see me, but maybe they'll hear me.
Which was very smart. You were thinking under that pressure.
Right. I just there's got to be a way to save myself. And I knew that people couldn't see me, so I just kept laying on my horn. And then Mike and Rick heard it driving down, and they saw James, and they said, we heard her. We think she's on the dirt driveway. And then he was begging all the firemen to come help.
And
they're like, we're not going to risk a fireman. It's too dangerous. And then James grabbed Malcolm by the collar and said, please save my wife. Please help me. And Michael said, Malcolm, I know.
Malcolm there's a lot going
said, let's go. He goes, we might not make it, but let's go. And even when I saw him, like the idea, I saw them behind my car coming up, and they're like, I'm like, help me, help me. And he goes, we've got you, we've got you. And my husband has 5 broken ribs. He was in a really bad car accident, and he's running up that hill. And Malcolm's so big, he's putting me under his arm to protect me, and James has Coda, and got in the truck, and he said, we still might not make it out. Because I'm saying, thank you for saving me. He goes, we still might die.
It was just so dangerous.
It was so bad. And we had to drive through the fire again. And my heart goes out to everybody who's lost their homes, that have lost family members. And we have to hold our people accountable. I mean, Karen Bass, what was she doing out of town? Newsom, we didn't have any water. When they knew it was coming to Malibu, why didn't they spray? And I'm not blaming the firemen. I think the firemen are amazing in the fire department.
And Malcolm, who saved your life. And I know that you all met through FaceTime, but you're going to meet in person.
Yes. As soon as this is all over, and I have to do something really special for him. And my son, because of the work of the firemen, he wants to become a fireman.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Patty, we are so happy that Malcolm came to your rescue, that your husband didn't give up on you, and that you were here today, you and Coda, and we're so glad that you're okay. And we can't wait to witness that reunion with you and Malcolm in person. So
I know.
Thank
What
you.
a special man, huh?
Yes,
And
yes.
my husband, never giving up,
never giving
risking
up.
his life to find me.
You're amazing, so we know why they fought so hard for you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.